Happy Friday, Midtown family. My name is Dennis. I'm one of the elders worshiping at Midtown. Corey invited me to give you some encouragement for the week, so here's some thoughts. We're living in a way that we haven't lived in the past. Our adventures are on hold, our jobs are on hold, school, our normal activities. So, not to minimize real suffering that's happening in people's lives, right now most of us are just longing to return to our normal lifestyle. And we want some relief from loneliness, from isolation, from Zoom, from beards, from Netflix. And then what does this new normal look like? What will life be like in the future? Maybe we worry about that. And let's not minimize the worry. Of course, things will change. And we don't know what things will return, how long it will take for us to get back to a lifestyle we're comfortable with. And it's frustrating. What we tend to do when we're frustrated, when we're worried, is to narrow our focus to our own selfish concerns. And we need to widen our perspective off of ourselves and onto God and other people. So looking at Psalm 102, and I'll be reading verses 23 to 28, it talks first about men and then about God. So starting at 23, in the course of my life, he broke my strength. He cut short my days. So I said, do not take me away, my God, in the midst of my days. Your years go on through all generations. In the beginning you laid the foundations of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you will remain. They will wear out like a garment. Like clothing, you will change them, and they will be discarded. But you remain the same, and your years never end. The children of your servants will live in your presence, and their descendants will be established before you. So our narrow, selfish, personal focus tends to limit our ability to look at God's view of things and how God would have us see them. So let's try and widen our perspective. Let's look at things not in light of crisis and fear, but in hope and confidence. So we know our lives are short and full of trouble, and so did the Apostle Paul. And he wrote about it in Philippians. Now, Paul lived at a more dangerous time, and he lived a dangerous life for the time. He traveled a lot and was in trouble. So in Philippians 1:20, when he says he hopes to glorify Christ, it has some teeth. So let me read this. I eagerly expect and hope that I will in no way be ashamed, but will have sufficient courage, so that now, as always, Christ will be exalted in my body. Now, Paul lived a dangerous life, and he's saying, I pray that I have courage to exalt Christ while I live in this dangerous life. Now, in the course of a 5-minute video, there's no way to dig into this, but let me give you some thoughts. Can we, with Paul, approach the dangers and potential loss with courage enough to glorify Christ? Can we, like Paul, put aside our fear, our selfish desire for normal, in a way that stands out not as reckless or foolish, but as those who have a hope that goes beyond the current crisis? We don't test God by being foolish and expecting a good result, but we do what needs to be done with confidence that He has a plan for us. We need to take the coronavirus seriously, but we can't let it freeze us in fear. We need to cooperate, but we don't need to cower. We need to plan for the future, but do not need to live in fear of it. Our hope is not in this life or the small things that happen during the whisper we live. Our hope is in the eternal God, the powerful God, the sovereign God who created the earth, and He will end it at the right time. Our hope is not in maximizing this life, not in making it the best it can be and making it last, but in the future that does last. If we're hopeless, it's because we've lost perspective. I pray that in this coming week, we will have the courage to live as those who have a hope. We can do the dangerous things that need to be done or the difficult things that need to be done, not selfishly, not in fear, but in confidence that God has the best in mind for us. He can protect us when we do the things we need to do. I pray for that for us this week. Be safe, be healthy.